So let's see what happens. +1, 51. Repeat. 1, 2. Try again. Yeah, there's this rather striking looking lass who calls herself, I don't know, Veronica Slots or Valerie Slots or somebody or other. Um, Really, she almost looks like an AI creation, but gorgeous. You know, the right amount of décolletage, the perfect makeup, the perfect nails, the perfect voice, and the whole thing. So she has to be fake, right? But she was pitching this old method for baccarat, which is P B P P B B, and I just don't get it. But I guess people fall for that shit, you know. And there is no sort of like consistent overlay that you can put on blackjack. This is not an overlay. This is reactive. You know, pattern betting reacts. P B P P B B is like just it's a formulaic. I just don't. It's a formula, which I don't see how it can work. I don't. Also, I can't see how to model it. So, what can I tell you? Anyway, what happened? Just double for the tie. Sorry. 1, 2. No, 51. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And back to the min. Yeah, these people just have. I don't know. I mean, are they actually employed directly? I mean, are they on the payroll for the casinos? Or do they just get sort of an idiot count and they get a sort of like, I don't know, $1 per idiot? It's I have no idea. Bets lost. What the hell was that? 50 lost? How dare you? 51. Repeat. Back to the minimum. Double for the loss. 1, 2. Oh dear. 3, 4. Well, that's a nothing. 7, 8. What is going on here? Hey. Well, I guess we squeaked that one, but squeaking is fine by me. +1. Plus another one. 1, 2. Good enough. Back to the min. +1. 51. Repeat. 1, 2. Uh-huh. Yeah, I watched this guy, John Cerasani, I think he pronounces his name, Cerasani. Interesting player. Gets really bent out of shape if he has a bad run. I mean, he has to sort of get up from the table and go off and stamp around and curse for a bit, and then he comes back and he's got his mojo back, I guess. Better than, definitely as far as betting is concerned, better than most. Certainly better than his buddy Mr. Handpay, Jason Bulkey. Miles better than Vegas Matt and Bobby Rivas and others. Those guys all have to win more bets than they lose in order to make any money. John made, in one thing that I watched, he made 10 grand against not a great house edge, but certainly, he lost slightly more, the number of hands he won and lost, slightly more losses than wins, and he came out with 10 grand. That means he's doing something right, so that's interesting. Back to the men. Double for the loss. Repeat. Where are we at now? 16 wins, 14 losses, 1,000 plus in the kitty. That's good. Double for the loss. Double for the tie. Repeat. Actually, that should have been a back to the minimum. But anyway, back to the minimum now. Double for the tie. Plus one. Plus one. Plus max. That's my max. You can do what you want. And we do it again. Oops. Chase it. All right, that's 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Where are we now? 23 wins to 17 losses. Well, you'd have to be a twerp to lose in those circumstances. Double for the loss. Repeat. Minimum. What the hell was that? All right, double for the loss. Repeat. 51. Five, 6. We go the extra mile with 11-6. We're stopping there. We're going over to the banker. 11-6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, fiddle. 17-12. So we'll call that 4-3 and 500s. 1, 2, 3. Oh boy. 7, 6. I think I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to run away from this show if we don't get this. Oh, look at that. Okay, we made extra there. Once in a while, you've got to push it out a bit. But always, always track your down and out. And once you get into trouble, just go back to the straightforward, standard, sensible, proven, viable, tactical, strategic rules. Okay? All right. That's 1, 2. That worked. That's 1. All right. Not doing too shabbily in this one. It's not far off closing, I don't think. Repeat. All right. Back to the men. Not a fan of betting on banker, but once in a while, what can you do, 1, 2. Do it again. 3, 5 is going to be the last bet on the bank. Oh, look at that. And it's the last one. Okay, so we won 36, we lost 30, 36 into 8,600 and 30 into 5,350. I think that works, to be honest. I think that works. Let's go check. All right, oh look, there's one there that I've forgotten to enter the details. So we're looking at good stuff over the last several sessions. Number. I don't remember what the story was with shoe number 1792, so I'll put that in later. Let me stop the clock and do the math. All right, so once again, the whole concept of progressive betting gets a boost. It's like it needs it, for Christ's sake. We had winnings of 8,614 across 36 bets, which is an average win of 239, losses of 5,350, 30 losing bets, average loss minus 178, 239 over 178 gives a average win over average loss advantage of 134%, which is totally acceptable. We had 6 more wins than losses, total of 73 rounds. That gave us a player advantage of 8.2%, which is, thank you very much. We won 3,263. Total action was 13,964, which means our win percentage, our hold, as the casinos like to call it, was 23% compared to the player edge of 8.2%. Now, I say it every time, or nearly every time, take it or leave it, believe it or not, nothing I can do to persuade very thick, dumb people that maybe there is a better way to bet than the one that's costing them money currently. But you know what? Nothing I can do about it. So, next time. All right. So we're off on another sortie against negative odds, negative expectation. No idea what's coming down the pike, but whatever. And of course, the other thing is that the last session that I did yesterday, I boo-booed and didn't put the little clock up. And it's not essential by any means, but just in case you noticed, there's always a date stamp and a time stamp up here, which doesn't tick along like this one does, but at least it shows the start time and so on up there. So that's kind of useful, I think. And the other thing that's funny today is going online and reading Vegas Matt's response to an attack by his former friend, Mr. Handpay, Jason Bulkey, who definitely stepped out on thin ice with a special video that he put up about cheating and faking on YouTube gambling channels. Boy, talk about people in glass houses. But yeah, it's just funny to read more hypocritical hogwash from Vegas Matt. I mean, you know, it's just ridiculous. What? 2 losses in a row? I can't do that. 3 losses in a row. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8? Okay. 15-8. Well, normally we would be at the runaway threshold, but I don't feel right about running away right at the beginning of a new shoe. So I'm going to take the 15-8 and call it 3-2 and go over to banker and see what we can do. Wouldn't you know it? 5-4. Pretty soon we will be running away. All right then. Now 1-2. Well, we won't be running away after all. And that's that's the whole point. Is yes, run away when it makes sense, but just it's all about common sense basically. Self-preservation, yes. Self-defense, yes. But sometimes you just have to take a bit of a chance. And I really don't like to run away too soon. It just, right at the beginning of a shoe, just seems silly, Repeat that one. That's going to be one. That's one. Okay, 4-5, and then we're running away from the bank. 9-5, which is 2-1. Hey, this is definitely a shitty shoe. So 3-2. Any minute now, I'm going to run away. You know what? I'm going to clear that. We're on 3-2, and we are definitely going to run away now because we're 3 wins and 11 losses. I mean, that's be interesting to see from the ghost. When I pull this up later, interesting to see from the ghost thingamajiggamies. The ghost rounds, what would have happened. Anyway, 3-2 in 500s, and we're running away from this one. Three two three two three two three two three two three two. Yes. Now 1-2. Easy flipping peasy, huh? And generally it is, but you've got to be able to make the spread. You've got to be able to go from, 25 to 1,000 or whatever. And if the casino prevents you from doing that, then just walk away, make sure you take your down and out with you, and go looking for an environment, a game, a layout, whether it's a different game, going from blackjack to baccarat or baccarat to blackjack or whatever. But just chill, wait till the right environment turns up. And what was that? Was that a win? Oh my goodness. Okay, back to the minimum. 1-2. Try again. Oi. There we are. 51. 2-3. Ay, ay, ay. Not a good day. 5-6. Finally. +1. +1. +1. Plus max. Repeat that. Okay, well, we'll live with what happened there. Back to the min. +1. +1. Plus max. Again, repeat it. Okay, now we're on 3-4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 7-8. 15-8, and we've got to go to the bank. We're getting bloody knocked about a bit, aren't we, today? this shoe. Okay, that's 5-4. I think we might as well call it 3-2 in thousands. Now it's 5-4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it. 9-4 over to player. 5-6. Sometimes it's just too easy, isn't it? Back to the min. And, you know, every so often somebody points out to me, you couldn't possibly go from, you know, a 6,000 bet to a 25, but the same thing applies, you know, I just don't see the point of constantly calling up new shoes just to accommodate that nonsense, because nothing changes. You know, it's like, you know, you'll see people when there's a shoe shuffle, you know, they'll be betting sort of like 5,000 at the end of the last shoe, and then they drop to their minimum bet after the shuffle. The shuffle doesn't make a bloody blind bit of difference. Every single round faces a negative expectation. It doesn't change for shuffles. It doesn't change for cuts. It doesn't change for the size of the bet, the wind direction, the whatever. You know, it's just. Ugh. But, you know, people are entitled to be stupid if they want to be. That's all I can tell you. I mean, with this shoe, we're getting a lot of pluses. Look at that. I mean, 19 to 13 right now. We've got a 1-2 now. 3-4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just not quite in sync, you know? We get there, but we're not not exactly cooking with gas, you know? We've got a session balance of nearly 4,000 in 10 minutes, so I'm certainly not complaining about that. Double for the loss. Repeat. 51. 2, 3. 5, 6. Just out of step with this one, you know? 11-6 going to the bank. And now we're on 11-12 because of the tie. Yeah, the way that works is you double after a tie as long as the bet is 100 or less, or you double in response to a tie is what I should say. And the only exception to that is if you can go, as with this one, we were on 11-6, and then there's a tie, so now we're changing it to 11-12, which makes it a turnaround bet instead of a mere recovery bet. So, banker, please. Okay. 11-12, 11-12, 11-12, 23. Next bet has to be 3. There it is, in the bag. All right, back to the men. You just got to have a plan. That's the thing, you know. As long as you're relying on a kind of a haphazard, random approach, then you're in real danger. And as long as you've got a plan that you can stick with through thick and thin, you've got a better chance. It's not guaranteed. I've never said it's guaranteed. But it's kind of like with my horse racing project that I've been doing for years and years. You know, it will get into a slump every so often. And then when I brought yesterday's results, you know, sort of up to date, over 190,000 won in one day, you know, which hasn't turned us around, but it's certainly taken us a huge leap towards a turnaround, which is always inevitable. Sometimes you go hundreds of thousands in the hole, but the bankroll now is enormous after all these years. It's absolutely bloody gigantic. It's getting towards 8 million. It would actually be 4 million in real life, because I would take half of it and spend it on lavish living and stuff like that, But half would stay in the bankroll. So the bankroll is almost 4 million. And so, a dip of a couple of 100,000 here and there is not really very much. It's sort of like, with Vegas Matt. I mean, he's bulletproof, absolutely bulletproof. And this is the lie that he's promoting all the time. And then he gets on a fucking high horse and acts like he's some kind of bloody social savior or whatever. I mean, it's so ridiculous. But anyway, all right, double for the no. Going to go to 1 now. Repeat it. Back to the minimum. Still on a banker, which I don't like to be. But I've got to follow the rules, And they work. They really work. Yeah. Yeah, the horse racing algorithm is definitely flawed. I mean, I first put it in place on the 1st of January 2018, and recognized very quickly that there were a couple of things that needed to be fine-tuned. But once you get into that sort of situation, you're on dangerous ground. The point is that my theory has always been, if you have a fixed algorithm, a fixed set of rules, a fixed whatever you want to call it, and you stick with it, non-random, in other words, a non-random strategy, then randomness swirling all around you is less dangerous. That's the point. That was 100 lost, so it's now 2-3, isn't it? Come on, Banker. 5-3 and over to the player. 8-6. This is not going well, is it? I'm having another little wobbly here. 14-15. All right. See what's happened here? We've slipped. We had a shitty run against us, and so for a while we were ahead of the game, and now we're at 28-30. So, this is how it goes. You just got to be able to ride that stuff. And the way that Matt plays, I mean, I think he's a bloody, he's a dangerous man. But he certainly doesn't see that. He thinks he's like king of the hill. What was that? Another loss? Well. 1-2. Thank you, player. Back to minimum. That's one. That would be double for the tie. And that's 2-3. And that's 5-6. Don't like this much. There we go. Player prevails. So we're on 5,500 in 17 minutes, which is not awful. Whatever Vegas Matt says. Yeah, he really is full of shit. Okay, well, I think we came out of that quite nicely. Oh, I watched this thing. It was dragging out an old strategy where as soon as you see PB, then bet PPBB. and this woman says that it's absolutely brilliant. It's made her a fortune. She never loses. It ought to be illegal. It's absolute rubbish. But anyway, okay, so let's do the paperwork here. Go up to the top, and I'm still behind with these guys. I've got to put that straight at some point. Just too much to do. All right, so we had this shitty one here. So today we've made a bunch. All right, now what we see here, these are the ghost things I was talking about. And what we see here is that this would have been fine if I just stuck it out. But you've got to move when it makes you feel good, or when it makes you feel better, at least. You start to feel under pressure because we had only 3 wins and 11 losses. I mean, Christ, that's not very good, is it? So it was sensible to run away. I mean, it made perfect sense. Anyway, going to stop the clock, back in a mo. Okay, so this one, number 1794, provides us with a rather rude reminder, very dramatic reminder that having an average winning value that vastly exceeds your average loss value won't help you unless you've got a reasonable number of wins. So we had just 3 wins on this one, and 11 losses. So the average win was 983, the average loss 355. One over the other is average win over average loss value is 277%, but we still fell in a deep red hole because we didn't get enough wins. So, that can happen. Anyway, let's get away from this and go to the happy turnaround one, and then I'll try and catch up with this stuff here and fill it in informatively. All right, that looks a bit better, doesn't it? I mean, we still had fewer wins than losses, but, well, anyway, I'll be back in a sec. All right, so these 2 shoes are actually pretty much fun. Really great combined. Fun is what I wanted to say. Fun is winning. I mean, all of these sort of loonies on YouTube, the pro losers, who can lose $100,000 bucks and say, "But we had fun, didn't we, guys?" It's just too ridiculous for words. Anyway, this second one, 1795. Average win 623, average loss 385. That's average win over average loss 162%, which is great. Combining the 2 shoes, what we have is we've got a win of 5,510. Total action was 40,260. So we came out with 13.7% as our win or hold of the total action. That's all bets combined. Now, what gets really interesting is we had in the 2 shoes combined 35 wins, 46 losses. There were 10 ties. So what we've got is we've got 11 fewer wins than losses, meaning that we faced overall 11 over 101 minus 11 over 101 against us, which is near enough 11%, minus 11% and 11% house edge. We turned that, pattern betting turned that into a win of 13.7% of total action. And that is what pattern betting is all about, honestly. So that's the end of stuff for now, for just a second, because what I need to do, I'll stop the clock and then tidy things up a bit, because I left a bit of a mess there. Okay, so there we are. A pretty healthy front page these days, largely because I'm not bouncing back and forth between baccarat or baccarat, as I see yet more people pronouncing it on YouTube. But anyway, it looks good, and I think you got to give some credence to a strategy which can turn a huge negative expectation like -11 over 101 into a win. But there's people out there who'd much rather do it their own way, and of course hypocrites like Vegas Matt and his crew, who can be stupid and ridiculous and reckless and irresponsible because they're bulletproof, no jeopardy. And I think that's part of what their former friend was getting at in his very ill-advised diatribe. He was simply trying to say that that there are people out there who are not playing it straight. But then I've long believed that he isn't playing it straight either. He only puts up videos that he wants us to see. And yes, he has some losing sessions, but they're always outnumbered by winning ones. And that's deceptive. It's a bloody lie. So it's the pot calling the kettle blackened, to do a little woke rewrite there on an old expression. But anyway, see you next time. Bye bye. Ah, anyway, okay, so I'm going to try and stick with the baccarat shoes and blackjack shoes in groups of three, to make it a little harder for people to claim that I'm cherry picking and blah de blah de blah. But of course, then I keep forgetting to put up my little timestamp, so I'm going to stop for that for a moment. Stop the clock. Okay, it gets tougher to remember things as you get older, you know? I mean, it's just how it is. Stuff falls off the top shelf, as my wife always used to say. Yeah. Yeah, that's the wobbly shelf that actually doesn't have sides. It's things are just sort of like chucked up there. The newest books, the newest memories, and so they slide and wobble and every so often just fall down the back or down the sides or whatever. Start a new shoe. Off we go. Come on then. All righty. Yes, today's been a fun day. I've been reading this nonsense from Vegas Matt in response to equally silly nonsense from his former friend, Mr. Handpaid, Jason Bulkey. It really is hilarious. I mean, it's like, I don't know, two rats in a sack or something like that. I mean, really, it's just so silly. Neither one of them should have got into it, but of course they're both so bloody self-righteous that they can't help themselves. I suppose I have a bit of self-righteousness in me, but I mean, all I'm about is just trying to show people, look, you cannot win at these games unless you have Vegas Matt style or Jason Bulkey style money behind you. But if you're in their game, you will continue to play badly and stupidly and recklessly because that's what the casinos want you to do, and it's what they want everyone to do. And that's the name of that bloody tune. And so, Matt on his high horse, ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm going to put that stuff in this video at the end just so you can see what I'm talking about if it happens that you're not a Vegas Matt fan. What did I do there? Did I screw up? Oh, okay. Another damn tie. Hate him. Okay, that's 2-3, I think. Oh, no, it's 1-2. Let's not be greedy. Bugger. 3-4. 7-8. It's another one of these shitty shoes that's starting really badly, right? 15-8. Over to banker. I might run away from this one. I don't like it. Okay, now it's going to have to be 7-9 for commission. And that's the thing that gets me about Vegas Matt as well. I mean, he keeps pissing around with commission, chasing it afterwards. Just build it into the bloody bet, you silly man. Go and bet it, honestly. But the whole point is that Vegas Matt and the others cannot be seen to win because that would be bad for the casino. So that if, for instance, Vegas Matt were to say, wait a minute, this guy's really got something with pattern betting, I'm going to give it a try. Well, he couldn't. They won't let him. Because as soon as he starts showing people how to win, he's out of favour. And he's out of this incredible pipeline to a pot of gold that he's developed. And I think, because he's stinking rich, because he's making money hand over fist, he thinks he's above the rest of us. That's the sort of attitude that's demonstrated in this message that he just put out. I mean, really annoying, but maybe I'm just too sensitive. I don't know. Double for the tie. Oh, duh. 3-5, last on the bank. 8-5, over to player. 3-5. Yeah, that's the only time I'll bet more than 100 more than the down is with the fives here, because once we get into fives, we don't want to drop. It just doesn't make logistical or common sense. So let's just not do it. All right. Hey, I'm in charge. We're all stuck with that. Repeat. Minimum. Okay, so we're 7 wins, 9 losses, and 500 in the kitty. What does that tell you, people? Does it tell you I'm cheating, or does it tell you that pattern betting makes sense? I mean, come on. Double for the loss. Repeat. 51. Repeat. Double for the damn tie. 2, 3. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well done, Palaya. I love you to bits. Well, that's the other thing that you get on these silly gambling channels. They love you, love you, love you, love you. I mean, it's all so bloody infantile. Ay, ay, ay. But of course, people lap it up, just like they lapped up. What's his face? The man in in that big house in Washington who wants to build a ballroom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus max. Yeah, I'm just trying to tell as many people as I can, look, if you tackle these games without more money than makes sense, you can't beat them. Just remember to look at the dealer's tray. Look in that tray, see how much money is there, and understand that with that against you, you got no chance if things go pear-shaped, the wheels come off. And it's, these volatile moments are short-lived. They always are. But they're usually just long enough to wipe out the usual sort of shoestring budget bankroll that most people take to these games. I don't know. And guys like Jason and Matt and so on only win when they win more bets than they lose. I have demonstrated to you hundreds of times, and there are even more hundreds of sessions in my archives here waiting to be put online if anybody was ever dumb enough to request them. I've demonstrated time and again, pattern betting will make you a profit even when you lose more bets than you won, or perhaps lose and win the same number of bets. If losing more bets than you win, or just winning the same number, wipes out the Vegas Matts and the Jason Balkys and the Bobby Rivases and the Bretskys and the rest of them, they don't get anywhere. What happened then? Oh, that's a repeater, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, it is. And I did. Okay, now we're on 3-4. Good one, player. Well done, old chap. One, two. Alrighty. Back to the bin. Double for the loss. 1, 2. Bugger, shit, and damn. Hate ties. Have I mentioned that? One, two. Back to the min. Double for the loss. 1, 2. 3, 4. Oops, that's 3, 5 then. Oh. 8, 10 on the banker. Well, how about that? So we caught the commission. That's what you do. You build it into the turnaround bet. Don't piss around with chasing it after you win. I mean, those guys, they really are. They're playing dumb. They're playing the fool deliberately. There's no doubt about it. They're too smart to be doing this on anything else other than a grand plan play like prats, and the rats will follow you, and you're tooting whatever. No, the people who love Vegas Matt and all the others are not rats by any stretch of the imagination, but they are certainly sheep. But the Pied Piper did not lead sheep. I suppose it would have to be Bo Peep. I don't think Matt makes a very good Bo Peep somehow. Maybe EJ. I don't know. Getting into bloody dangerous territory there, aren't I? Banker lost, banker lost, banker lost, banker lost. What the hell happened just then? All right. There we go. That's better. +1. Right. 3-5. Got to be running away from the bank again. 8-5. On player. Okay, now we'll go to 8-10 because of the tie. Oh, that didn't go so well, did it? 2-2. 2-2. There we are. All right, back to the min. Got to keep goosing that turnaround profit. I mean, not greedily, but just, to reflect the fact that you've had to work a while to get there, Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, the alternative to me not spluttering and coughing is not making videos, and I'm afraid I can't do that, so tough tits, people. He said politely. Double. Oh, sorry, +1. There's another +1. And that's 1-2. $3-4, and I don't think it's going to let me do it. No, it's not. Okay. So we save that shoe, and we'll have to roll over to another one because 400 is too much to lose. Sorry. It's just too much. There we go. Back to the minimum. I'll play 10 off here. We're at 13 minutes. Coming up to 14 minutes right now. Double for the loss. Excuse me. 1-2. There we are. $51. 2, 3. Okie dokie. Double for the loss. Repeat. All right, so we'll shut this one down. 6 wins, 5 losses, blah, 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 blah. I mean, if there are folks out there who've seen any of these demos before and they're still saying to themselves, this doesn't work, then, I mean, I don't know what to say to that. It's just ridiculous. Excuse me, so sorry. If I were a more skilled editor, I'd be able to cut all that spluttering and coughing and that out, but I'm stretched as it is. All right. All right, so we had this one here, number 1796. And it looks pretty damn gorgeous to me. I'm going to do the sums and then come back to you. All right, so in terms of wins and losses, shoe number 1796 was yet another squeaker, 33 wins, 32 losses. The 33 wins averaged 260, the 32 losses averaged -198. Average win over average loss value is 131%, which is above what I always hope for, which is 125%, but it isn't that fantastic. In that session, we had a player edge of 1.4%, and that's because we were one win ahead in 72 rounds altogether, including ties. So that's plus 1.4% in our favour. Pattern betting delivered a win of 2,227 over a total action of 14,927, which is a win or a hold of 15% against 1.4%. And this is something that will keep on happening again and 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 again in all of these demos. I mean, that's just how it is. And the likes of Vegas Matt and Mr. Handpay and Crazy Cody and Dana White and all those other lunatics, Steve Will Do It and all the rest of it, they can keep hurling money around randomly and pretending to be cock of the walk, king of the hill, whatever. And they're never going to win in the end because they can't. Progressive betting is the only way you can win. And that's why you will see the Vegas Mats and the Mr. Handpays and so on paying lip service to the sheer stupidity, the terrible idea of progressive betting. It's because the casinos know damn well it's the only method that will destroy their bottom line, or dent it. Won't destroy it, sorry, that's an exaggeration, but it will dent their bottom line. It will stop them from getting any of my money and yours too, if you go at these games with the right ammunition, the right weaponry. You have to be properly prepared. You have to be able to go in with muscle. You can't expect to win. I mean, these guys who walk up to tables. I mean, even what's his face, Jason, with 30,000, buy in 30,000, buy in 50,000, and all the rest of it. At the spread that he's playing, from 5 to 5,000, and sometimes maybe from 5 to 10,000, it's not enough. Simple as that. I mean, these guys are high rollers. There's no doubt about that. But they are also inherently dishonest, because they don't tell us the whole story ever. And it's just so funny to see these guys at each other's throats as they are right now. Both of them looking down from high horses that they don't deserve to ride. Let's face it. I mean, come on. Jeepers, guys. Anyway, there you have the situation. Another very successful little session. I'm just going to mash the three together. So stopping the clock for a sec. All right, so mashing the last three shoes together, three and a bit, actually, because I think there was a gag somewhere along the way, and certainly I had to roll over a bet from one to a fresh shoe. What do we get? We got. I just realised, because I haven't folded in the last shoe, so I need to do that. My apologies. Okay, again, my apologies. This is what happens when you try to do everything. I'm unlike Vegas Matt. I am a one-man band. I mean, he's got the thinkers and the wits and the techie people and all the rest of it to back him up, and I'm just me, myself, and I. Anyway, and I'm not complaining about that, but now I'm choking because I've been talking too much. So hang about. Okay, so the story, the three sessions. We had against us -9 over 190 bets, rounds, whatever. That is a negative expectation of 4.7%. We won a total of 8,512 against total action. Oh, that's every bet. Wins and losses mashed together, 56,462. I haven't taken the trouble to count in the action during those ties. I probably should do that, but I think that the point is made, and that is 8,512 kept in our pockets, put into the kitty, out of bets totaling 56,462, is 15% plus 15% against negative expectation of minus 4.7%. So, it's not case closed, because I just keep on providing new evidence. But I have to say that sort of watching this nonsense between Vegas Matt and Mr. Handpay and Jason Volke and all that sort of thing, it's just so ridiculous because it's pots and kettles and we're not allowed to say the pot calling the kettle black because that isn't woke enough. So let's say blackened. That'll cover it, right? So anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you next time. Front page looking good. Just a couple of little minor bits there. I don't even remember how many flipping minutes that was. Pardon me. So I'm not going to enter that. I'll see you next time.